Came up to Fort Pierce today. It's about 70 miles north of Delray Beach. There are these spoil islands here, islands created artificially, I think, by dredging cranes years ago. There's a lot of shallow water in between them. We're in salt water here, not too far from the Fort Pierce inlet. It's much windier today than I expected. I was planning to be out in the deeper water, but it's just too windy and the seas are just a little bit too rough. So I beached the kayak here on one of these spoil islands, and I'm going to see about walking along and wading and casting instead of trying to fish from the boat. It's rather shallow back here in places. I can't even use the Mirage drive, which requires about 18 inches of clearance. So there are places where even the Mirage drive won't work. So I'm going to wait around for a while and see if there are any fish back here. We're at high tide. I know it's going to get lower than this, but I believe this is fairly high for the moment. Let's see what happens. Well, I found some shelter from the wind here back among these little islands. It's relatively calm here, except, for example, where I'm pointing the camera now, where the wind comes through. It's gusting up pretty strong from the southwest today. I think there's some weather coming in this afternoon, and this wind must be a harbinger of it. I'm staying back here, hoping I can pick up a few fish. I've switched over to a popper type lure. It stays on the surface. We're in relatively shallow water here, and there are a lot of weeds. And when I put on a deeper running bait earlier, one of those Gulp Shrimp, it kept picking up weeds. So this remains mostly weed free, but so far I haven't caught anything. I'll fish back here a while yet, and then I may go out back towards the boat ramp, see what there might be over there. There's a shoreline of mangroves on the south shore that might provide some lee as well. We'll see what happens, but I'm hanging in there. Well, I was about giving up hope here. Came out into the windy area near the main boat channel. Threw out that Gulp Shrimp again, and within about 5 minutes caught a pretty nice trout here. Looks like 16, 17 inches. Just gonna hang around out here a little while. It's windy and starting to get a little bit of white caps, but if fish are biting, I'm gonna be out here and get this guy back in the water. It's 20 after 1, and I'm taking a short break, thinking about what to do for the rest of the afternoon. I'm on shore here, not far from the boat launch. Pretty well protected from the wind, but out towards those mangrove islands, it's pretty wicked. I think the trout are going to be in the shallow water that's in front of those islands. Between here and there is the boat channel, where the water's nice and deep and I can pedal, but it gets pretty shallow up there on those grass flats, and I have to pull the Mirage drive because there isn't enough water, and paddling isn't that much fun when you're trying to fish. So what I'm thinking I might do is paddle over there and then let the wind push me from left to right. The wind is coming from the southwest today, so I may just drift in the canoe, in the kayak, without trying to do much pedaling or paddling, and it'll just push me to the east for a while, and then at the end of that drift I may then pedal over into the ship channel and start using the Mirage drive, and then come back up and maybe do it again. I'll have to see how successful a drift it is in catching fish over there by those grass flats, whether it's worth doing it, sort of making a big circuit, get pushed east, stop, get back into the boat channel, pedal back up here, and then see if I want to do it again. But I'm just going to relax for a few minutes now. Well, it's too windy for me to be out here. I tried drifting, but the wind was 25, 30 miles an hour. I just didn't feel like it was safe out there. Unfortunately, right in front of me is a huge fish chase going on. Bait fish are being chased all over the place, in some cases right out of the water by some much larger species underneath. It's going down and trying to grab what they can. Yeah, bait in the middle of that, but you probably see the white caps out there. It's just too rough. So I'm gonna head in and call it a day. It's a long drive here, and I only got to fish a couple hours, but I don't want to fight that wind anymore, so I'm going to call it quits.